Hi friends, it's Mrs. R again, coming back at you with some science. We're starting a new chapter on geology. Remember, geo means earth and ology means the study of. So it means the study of the earth. In this case, what the earth consists of and what it's made of happens to be a very interesting topic for me. Hopefully it will be for you as well. We're on page 151 in your science textbook. Looks like this. Page 151, I'll give you a chance to get it out. And then you may follow along with me as I read. No fun farty facts today, but on the next lesson, next time, and the next time you have to read science, I'll read you another fun farty fact. Get you in the mood for science. But today we're just going to be reading about home, our home, the earth. Follow along with me. Here we are on page 151, starting with Chapter 7, Lesson 1, Our Home, the Earth. Follow along with me as I read. He stretches out the north over the empty place and hangeth the earth upon nothing. Job 26, verse 7. When God created the universe and all that is in it, he planned a special place for man to live. That special place is our planet, the Earth. The circles of the Earth. The Earth is round like a ball or a sphere. You probably already know that the Bible told us this about the earth long before men figured it out. Isaiah 40 verse 22 says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth." Because the earth is like a sphere, special maps are called globes can help us to understand what the earth is like. A globe is a sphere-shaped map that looks like a miniature earth. To make it easier to find places on the earth, most globes are marked with points and lines. These markings are not actually on the earth, but they are on globes and maps to help us find places. Find places that are find places that are north, south, east, or west of other locations. Find the following markings on your classroom globe. At the top of the globe is the North Pole. The South Pole is at the bottom. The imaginary line around the earth is exactly halfway between the North and the South Poles is called the equator. The equator divides the sphere of the earth in half. Each half is called a hemisphere, which means half of a sphere. The half of the earth between the North Pole and the equator is the northern hemisphere. The equator divides the sphere of the earth in half. Each half is called a hemisphere, which means half of a sphere. The half of the earth between the North Pole and the equator is the northern hemisphere. The half between the South Pole and the equator is the southern hemisphere. Which hemisphere do you live in? We live in the northern hemisphere. The diameter of the earth at the equator is about 8,000 miles. The diameter is measured from the North Pole to the South Pole is a little shorter. This means the earth is not perfectly round. It is slightly flattened at the poles. However, the difference is so small that when the earth is viewed from space, it appears round. If you could see the earth from space, you would also see what holds it up. Nothing. Long before men traveled in space and could see this for themselves, God told us in the Bible that he hangeth the earth upon nothing. Job 26, verse 7. Maps and globes are often updated as new information about the earth becomes available. Satellites orbiting around the earth have been very useful to map makers. The Landsat series of satellites began mapping the earth in 1972. Landsat photographs have revealed new information about our planet. A photograph taken in 1976 showed an island which was previously unknown off the coast of Labrador, Canada. The island has been named Landsat Island. And that is it. Okay, comprehension check 7.1. The earth is shaped like a ball or a sphere. What is the imaginary line around the earth which divides it in half? That's called the equator. I've been on the equator when I lived in Brazil. We went to the very near the equator on a trip once, and it was the hottest thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was torture. It was so hot. It's very hot. The closer you get to the equator, the hotter it is, and it stays pretty much a consistently hot temperature all year round. What is the name for the part of the earth from the North Pole to the imaginary middle line? That's the northern hemisphere, where we live. From the imaginary middle line to the South Pole, that's the southern hemisphere. That's where I lived when I lived in Brazil and South America. Thank you, friends. Hope you're doing well. Miss you. Bye.